Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. 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 I think that's working. Test, test, test. Let me see here. And there's test. Looks like we're back on. Hi, folks. Having some audio problems, and doesn't look good. It was like I couldn't get it on. It'd be great if you give me a thumbs up. I freaking hate starting the show by saying, "Hey, cause my audio worked," but for whatever reason, it wasn't showing up. So hopefully, you guys are good. Good. Welcome to the program. Happy Wednesday. Today's Mercury Day. Is that right? See if I remember. Is today Mercury? Wednesday? Man, I need to pull this out. There's like a million things I have to do before the show starts. I just forget this. What day is it today? It's Mercury Day, right? Mercury. Yeah, Quicksilver. Today's a planet Mercury and the metal Quicksilver. It's a waxing moon. Full moon Friday with an eclipse. 2 eclipses this month. Today is a special day for Venus. Let me know how the audio is. In other words, is it too loud or too soft? Great. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to White Lies Matter, episode 71, White Lies Matter. For those of you listening, this space is intentionally black because of how racist you are. Let's all give a moment of silence for how racist we all are. And scene. The Hottentots are afoot. The grabblers are grabbling. The liars are lashing out. And here we are in America, surviving Dojo Earth as best we can. We're doing pretty well. This is the best apocalypse ever. We're doing pretty well. To start the show off today, I would like for us to have a review over how many countries we've invaded since World War II. And on top of that, I would like for us to talk about racism. Because I would like for you to see how distracting it is to fall into the topic of racism while we are invading other countries, excuse me. And so I'm kicking off a timer. We've invaded 61 countries since World War II. And we just invaded China from 1949 to the early 1960s. We invaded China. That's what we were doing. While the country was arguing with itself, while it was making plans to go to the moon and squirt on it, our consent and our tax dollars were working to overthrow China. Why? Because we were afraid of them. It was before terrorism had been invented. We were fighting communism. A different kind of terror. And these distractions that we have with regards to race are here to put a blanket on top of this overarching operation that's been here since World War II. Did you hear that beep? I did. That's because we just invaded Albania. 1949. Fuck you, Albania. We're America. And we're so dedicated to freedom and non-racism that we're going to come invade you. Now, yesterday, the entire nation was placed under blackout. When I say the entire nation, I'm speaking about the corporate nation. I'm speaking about every media outlet, every news outlet, everyone who's been in charge this whole time has come on and placed a black screen and told you that the biggest threat we have right now, the biggest fear we have, is racism. And there's no more COVID now. Oh, did you hear that beep? Sorry, it's going to be distracting. We just invaded East Germany. Fuck them. They don't know what freedom is. They're evil. They're terror. We aren't. We're good. We're the good guys. We've got an eagle and everything. We've got a flag. And look how concerned we are with racism. I mean, come on. Clearly we're the nice guy in all this. And as I was saying yesterday, this psyop was unwrapped and unraveled and spread across the land as we began a germ theory experiment back into the world of how racist we are. How conveniently racist we are. So we don't have to talk about the fraud of COVID. We don't have to talk about the fraud of government. We certainly don't have... excuse me. We just invaded Iran in 1953. Please note that when you see a yellow country such as Iran, it means that not only did we invade them, we overthrew their ass. Right? Because they're evil communists. Thank you for the super chat, Callie. Also, thank you for the super chat. Oh, come on. It's already gone. But you gave it to me before the show started. Thank you so much. Darn it, it won't let me see your name again. It was an awesome bear. Thank you. Sorry. We began this plot. Guys, I might miss super chats today. But I will find your name and thank you because it really helps a lot. By the way, this episode will probably be demonetized. Hopefully, if we have time, we will get to that. I wanted to give you guys a list of the videos that have been removed or demonetized in case you wanted to see them. Videos demonetized. Oh, excuse me. Just invaded another country. Team America, Guatemala, 1954. Fuck you guys. We also overthrew them. Threw them. It's yellow. Guatemala. Terror. Bad people. Us good. Them bad. Now, let's go back to talking about how racist we are. While we tell everyone thank you for your service, because we got Guatemala, because they were coming for us. They were coming for us, I'm telling you. Maple Bear. Yeah, I think that does sound right. Thank you, Maple Bear. Thanks, Burning Tree Bear Clips. Why do you not have a wrench? That's weird. Heavy Metal Bear's having a baby girl, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to give a shout out to Heavy Metal Bear, who's having a girl. That's pretty sweet, man. Way to go. Okay. A lot to keep up with here. Well, let's try and stay focused, okay? This call to racism is the same call we... Excuse me. We just invaded Costa Rica. Yeah, those evil guys. Did you know Costa Rica doesn't even have an army? They don't even have a military. But by God, we're going to unterrorize the fuck out of them. Team America. Right? Team America. This is germ theory, ladies and gentlemen. This is germ theory. Racism is germ theory. We talked about that yesterday. Terrorism is germ theory. Why do I say terrorism is germ theory? Because Trump has declared Antifa a terrorist organization. And it is now official. We will be invading ourselves. We are going to come into our own country and beat the shit out of ourselves until we find that terror inside. Until we come in and show them, just like we did Syria in 1956. We're going to come in and show them, by God, we're going to vaccinate you. How dare you oppose Zionism? How dare you oppose America? My God, it is hard to be so free out here. Freedom's not free, right? It's going to require you to say thank you for your service and blindly follow along. But it's okay because we have distractions for you. We have distractions, and we get to fill that time with rumors, with stories of how bad we are and how we as a people cannot be trusted. I'll get to that in a sec. There's a reason why you're told all these things. There's a reason why no matter who's in the White House, every 1.3 years, another ding hits and we strike Egypt in 1957. Fuck those guys. They're not like America. They're bad guys. In fact, we're going to bomb our own ship, the USS Liberty, and blame it on Egypt. That's what we're going to do. And guys, don't argue. It's because we are so good that we have to take the extra step and start to be immoral. Do you see how that works? It's because we're so good that we are bequeathed by God to be immoral. Do you understand? It's complicated. God's work is complicated. But you just have to close your eyes and trust the plan. You have to close your eyes and just think black for a little bit. Just go black and just think about it. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, we had to invade Indonesia just now. Still 1957. Woohoo! Fuck those guys. We're America. Now, yesterday, this video emerged. Pretty sweet. I'm going to play it for you. Now, you know you're twisted when you live in a country that calls you racist and there's film of white people driving around in sedans handing out bricks to black people.
You're retarded. You bitch, don't give no group of black men no brick that don't do nothing. All right? Push the fuck up. Go home. Why would you give that to them? They're gonna get in trouble. You stupid. You're a retarded bitch. All of y'all. Why the fuck would you give that to them? That shit is wild disrespectful. I don't give a fuck about your friends. I'm talking about this white bitch giving a group of black men a brick to throw. Do you know that shit could get them killed? You know that. Just having that.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We just invaded another country. We'll be right back. We just invaded British Guiana there in 1953 through 64. Nice 11-year-long relationship there. But let's get back to the race war quick.
Shit can get them killed. That's why y'all so sensational. Go on the fucking house and kick everybody's ass.
Wearing a mask. That's good.
Let everybody glasses off their face. Fuck yeah. That's the bullshit. What the fuck is that?
They're just sitting there waiting to give somebody a brick.
Wait for a black man to walk by so you can hand them a brick.
Yep. Now remember yesterday I showed you all the bricks that were actually laid out in front of the businesses, right? And we went over L.A. and them setting out the large rock things. Oh, excuse me. We have to invade another country. Iraq, fuck you. 1963. Fuck you, Iraq. No. We're the good guys. And we'll be back. Just you wait. We'll find that terror in you, by God. We will find it. We will find that terror in you, and we will drop a giant truckload full of bricks off. That's what we'll do. Because we know how to do this. We've been doing this a while, my friends. These are things we've been working on a while. And after you lay out enough bricks, yeah, baby, we get to do what Trump says and go after Antifa. We get to turn our own country into Afghanistan and invade it because of how horribly racist we are. Hey, Hummingbird. He's like, I ain't racist. Oh, excuse me, Hummingbird. I'm sorry. North Vietnam. Fuck you. 1945 through 73. Fuck you. Do you know there are still bombs buried in the gardens of Vietnam? Buried under the ground. It's like, fuck you. Landmines. But it's okay because you see, Zionism gives you this special permission to do shit. You see, the world is dirty, has germs. It has a virus living inside that world. And we as the good guys to bring Zion here, to make everything better, we have to go plant these landmines under the ground to give everyone freedom. And then we have to come back to America and tell everybody how racist they are so we won't think about it. It's a simple plan, guys. And all you got to do is trust it. Speaking of trust, fuck you, Cambodia. Fuck you. 1950 through 1970. It's a long one, right? It's a long one. But look how dangerous they are. You guys knew about the Cambodian aircraft carriers, right? You guys remember those? Freaking deadly. They had those bamboo torpedo things, and it was just... God, man, thank you for your service. Thank all of us for our service. It's a good thing that we're out there, protecting the world from all this terror. It's a good thing we got enough bricks to lay out where we need. Yesterday, iTunes had this on their screen. In steadfast support of the black voices that define music, creativity, and culture, we use ours. This moment calls upon us all to speak and act against racism and injustice of all kinds. We stand in solidarity with black communities everywhere. The show must be paused. Whoops, speaking of which, we just invaded Laos, 1958. Fuck you, Laos. The show must be paused. Black Lives Matter. Listen together. Now, if you were to hit listen together, you would actually have heard yesterday that you didn't have a choice. If you opened iTunes, I was going to play it for you today, but they turned it off today. Today, they're saying that it's Black Pride Month. Could have sworn it was Sodomy Month, but it got edged out by Black Pride Month. Tell me, black community, does it make you feel proud? Does it make you feel less persecuted to know that you are just ahead of Sodomy Month? That these corporations view you just a notch above sodomy? Is that how we care now? Is that how we're doing this game? Excuse me, black community. We got to invade Laos again. Yeah, fuck you, Laos. Fuck you. 1958 was not enough. No. We came back. We wanted more. We wanted to squirt freedom on Laos's face even more. Excuse me, that was kind of over. This is how it works. This is how you place someone in back of the van and you go rob banks. And it's our van. It belonged to our parents. It was handed down to us. But we never fought for it. So when this guy comes in claiming to be Uncle Sam, who we've never fucking met, he's got a really long beard, he's got a crazy eye, and he's telling us, I know the answer, man. I know the answer. And I'm gonna have to empty this shotgun into that bank teller's chest right now. Because he is trying to kill you. Excuse me. Hey, Laos, we're still not done with you. Yeah, 1960. Time to take it again. Now, Uncle Sam has bought you an Egg McMuffin. And you're in the back going, oh, maybe he's not so bad. Our van has guns now on the side. Got a turret. Who knew a van could have a turret? But we have a van with a turret now. And all this evil all around the world, we've been told. Well, Uncle Sam's taking care of it. He's driving from bank to bank to bank, going inside where all the evil people live inside these banks everywhere. And while I stay in the car eating my Egg McMuffin, he goes inside and takes care of business. Speaking of which, hey, Ecuador, fuck you. Fuck you. America's coming. 1960 through 1963. Sam has returned, and he just blew up the Ecuadorian bank. And he installed a petrodollar in there. And it's all based on oil, which is abiogenic. It comes from the ground. It's not even a precious resource. And he tells you we had an oil embargo and we had to create an strategic oil reserve. What does that mean? That means we dump all the oil that we gather and we don't let anyone else use it. And we tell you it's up in Alaska, in barrels in a warehouse, for national security. And that's why it's so expensive. Because of security. Hang on a second. Hey, Congo. Fuck you. 1960. America invaded Congo. But we're still racist, so we need to focus on that. Right? We're still sexist. We need to focus on that. This is germ theory, right? The poison's inside us. It's not outside us. It's not that. It's inside. There is a forgetfulness that comes with racism. As I explained yesterday, racism is actually a form of self-soothing. It's no different than disagreementism, nor is it any different with any kind of ism. Football teamism, politicalism, theory of cosmologyism, gardeningism, sports teamism. Excuse me. France. Fuck you, France. I didn't even realize that. Damn. They surely they did it. I mean, they had to have done something to deserve that, right? I mean, come on. Here we are wandering around the world, going to all these banks, trying to help all these tellers out, you know. And France probably they were probably jealous. They were jealous of our freedom, and they tried to stop us. But we fixed that. Now, when you have a culture of differences, when all of us have different apertures, some of us, when we don't understand what aperture means, we will get offended if someone else does not see something the way we see it. And when that happens, we sometimes have to create a self-soothing field, an electrical field of distance between us and them. I'm sorry we can't learn anymore because right now we have to stop in Brazil. Fuck you, Brazil. Fuck you. This field of self-soothing we use creates a psychic distance between us. And that psychic distance gives us comfort. We feel more comfortable. And the reason why racism is such a popular mantra, the reason why Uncle Sam is able to subdue you every single time he moves from bank to bank to bank. All he has to do is hop in and say racism. The reason why that works is because you are racist. You are all of these things because you have an electrical field. You have an ego you care about. You have thoughts you'd care about. And until you learn the compassion aperture, right? Until you develop the compassion aperture, you're going to find that a lot of times you need to self-soothe in order to create comfort. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless, of course, you live in Dominican Republic. In which case then, fuck you, because you're not American enough. 1963, Dominican Republic. We overthrew them too. By the way, we've overthrown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 governments since we started. We overthrew them. We said your autonomy means nothing. We did it 3 times in Laos. 3 times. We overthrew it with a leader. Then we said, oh, we don't want that leader. We overthrew him. Then we said, oh, we don't want that leader. We overthrew another. Germ theory. Evil is inside the world. We have to root it out. We have to find it inside our body. If you complain, I'm just going to call you racist. And if you don't like yourself enough, you're going to think it's a bad thing. You're going to think that you're broken, right? Cuba! Fuck you, man. We're America. Now, if you have a strong enough ego, if someone calls you racist, it doesn't affect you. It disintegrates the moment it hits your outer shell. The moment it hits your outer shell, even your casual shell, your ego is so strong that shit like that just doesn't work. Why? Because you know what's in your heart. Ego is the heart. And we're getting real confused about this term because everyone still wants to shame it. Everyone still wants, no, ego's a bad thing. I swear, it's not. Your heart thumping, your heart pounding is an energy, a frequency, and a vibration. That energy, frequency, and vibration is your egoic field. If you have a huge, strong egoic field, you become invincible to germ theory. Excuse me. Bolivia, fuck you. Time to go. 1964. That ego gives you the strength to be generous with others. A brick wall is never offended when a ping pong ball hits it. A brick wall will actually play tennis with someone who plays tennis against it. Because the brick wall is strong. The brick wall is generous. The brick wall has enough power where they're not concerned with running out of gas. They're not concerned with being told how evil they are. It just doesn't affect them. Their own energy, their own frequency, their own vibration emanates who they are. When you go for a long run, your ego is finishing that run for you. You run out of steam. Your steam depletes. Why? Because you were sacrificing your ego the entire time for the goal that you wanted, which was to complete the run. But you can't complete a run right now because, damn it, Indonesia needs to go fuck themselves. And we're going to overthrow them too. Why? Because they're evil. And we cannot have Zion until we cleanse the world of evil. Don't you understand? Uncle Sam is doing this all for you. All of this he's doing for you. And as you're in the back, turning around corners and running yourself into each side, right? Left side, right side, left side, right side. He's throwing racism at you in the back. He's throwing black tar and feathers behind him. And you can't even deal with what's outside the windshield. You can't even deal with the fact. Right now you're covered in tar and feathers. You're trying to pull them out of your eyes, but so what? Because time for Ghana to go. 1966. Fuck you, Ghana. You were not free enough. We will fix you. And what were we doing in the 60s? Distracting ourselves with the civil rights. Distracting ourselves. Yes, I said it. Do you know why Ron Paul took his first hit? Regardless of how you feel about Ron Paul, I like the guy. I know a lot of us are supposed to say he's controlled opposition. It doesn't matter. The fucker said the right things at the right time. One of the things he said is during the civil rights movement is that this is the worst thing you can possibly do for race relations. You are creating a special class within a special class. And the moment you have a hate crime, my friends, the moment you create a hate crime, you create narcissism. You create living, reversed, inversed, masochistic narcissism. Fuck you, Chile. Fuck you and the country you rode in on. We're going to stay there for 9 years and overthrow you. Team America. Team special class gets special punishment. Team narcissism. Team sociopathy as we evacuate ourselves to melanin. Which one of us has more melanin? Right? We've been over this, but the rainbow flag is a seating chart. These are all distractions. And they're all happening while other things are happening. While other things that are actually much more dangerous are happening. While we're declaring Antifa a terrorist organization. Speaking of terrorist organizations, Greece, fuck you. Fuck you. Now, the liberals, because this is so well divided, all right? Because this is so perfectly divided, the liberals are saying, my hope is people who hate themselves enough will take the time to go out and destroy innocent people's property in the name of racism. That's the liberal side of this. The conservatives? My hope is the cops will beat the crap out of everyone who's not in their home while this is all happening. This stuff is so easy. It is so easy to make someone who's evacuated feel like shit. It's so easy to take one of those pop rocks and just throw them at their feet and watch them jump. Watch them jump with just the smallest amount of physioelectricity, the tiniest amount. Pop, pop, pop. That's all it takes. That's all it takes because we're too busy. Fuck you, Costa Rica. We're not done with you. We are back. And even though you don't have a military, too bad. Because we're the land of freedom. But we can't pay attention to that because we're too racist. And we got vaccines to make. We got sexism to teach. We have to infiltrate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that World War II was a war between the Nazis and the Zionists. And as you listen to these beeps and as you hear me call out countries, I'd like for you to seriously consider, again, who's the bad guy? Zionists or Nazis or both? Bolivia, fuck you. Fuck you, man. Screw you. We're Zionists. You're not. You're going down. It's no one wins in this stuff. The only one winning is Uncle Sam, and even him, he's not winning. He's bad, man. Uncle Sam's bad. He's done so many bad things that he's not. There is no soul of the nation. There's a lack of a soul of a nation, and that's why the nation is going around from bank to bank to bank, killing everything. Because it can't fix its soul. All it can do is remove everyone else's soul, and that is Zionism. That is the belief that this earth is evil until we cleanse it. That is the belief that you are racist until you overcome it with your silence. Until you look in the black screen and go dark. But while you're doing that, while you're going dark, fuck you, Australia. Screw you and your koala bears. You're not free enough. You're not America enough. This is Dojo Earth, and we are watching Uncle Sam use our van, the very van that we inherited from our forefathers. We're watching him outfit it with gun turrets and wreak havoc. A fucking Mad Max. And every 6th day, we get an Egg McMuffin. And now we've noticed that it's safer to stay in the back of the van and argue with each other. Because if we look outside, we're going to see that Angola needs to be invaded again. Actually, first time, sorry. 75. And in the 1980s. So twice. I had to put some of these together because there's just too many. There's just too many. I hope this is annoying that the beep keeps coming. But I hope that you see that the space in between each one gives you enough comfort where you can kind of forget what you just heard. You can be like, oh, well, I'm glad that's not here. I'm glad that it's not happening right here in front of me. I can move on past that. I don't have to worry about that stuff. I can instead listen to my black screen on iTunes and live in solidarity for Black Lives Matter. It doesn't matter what happens in Zaire. Zaire. Black Lives Matter, okay? Black Lives Matter. That's why we have to go into Zaire and fuck with them too. It's because of Black Lives Matter, dude. If you weren't so racist, we wouldn't have to go there. Right? Please answer this question. If black racism is so bad, why are the corporations most cash-rich powerful companies that America has ever seen, why have they turned over their entire storefront to push more riots? Why are they not exposing people with bricks?
Excuse me? Bitch, don't give no group of black men no brick.
Why are they not exposing a domestic war on terrorism? I thought that corporations hated Trump. I thought that there was this divide between liberal media and Trump. Oh, sorry. Portugal. Fuck you. 1974 through 76. We overthrew them too. Like, no. Don't like who you have in power. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. This is what they want out of Black Lives Matter. And guys, Black Lives Matter is not run by white people. And you know that, but we're too busy saying fuck you to Jamaica. Can you see the irony? Can anyone see the irony? If you get that joke, you're awesome. Can anyone see the irony here? That while we're invading Jamaica, we're having a discussion about how important it is that we don't pay attention to the countries that we invade because we need to focus on how racist we are. Can anyone see that? Does anyone see how fucking insane that is? Meanwhile, the entire time it's a self-soothing field. It's a field required for self-soothing. Guys, please think about this. The color orange in your mind means Trump right now. All right, I'm preaching the choir here a little bit, but just, excuse me, choir. Hold that, choir. We need to say Seychelles, fuck you. 1979 through 81, no. You're very dangerous. That island is very dangerous. It must be destroyed. Orange is black. Orange is Trump in your mind right now. When you see orange, when you think orange, you think of Trump. And when you see black, you think of Black Lives Matter. And when you see the rainbow, you think of sodomy. I realize I'm preaching the choir. Some of you guys have learned to cleanse your mind. But there's no victory here. If you're going to stay in this zeitgeist trench and fight the war back and forth, you're going to have to defend the color orange for the rest of your life. You're going to have to defend the color black for the rest of your life. You're going to have to ignore the fact that it's time to say fuck you to Chad. Damn, man, Chad. No wonder. No wonder no one likes Chad. We had to go in and American him in 81. Fucker, did we take him over? Yeah, we did. We overthrew him. He's yellow. So not Chad, sorry. Not even sorry. Not sorry, Chad. Fuck you, USA. Right? It's the fuck USA. I realize that my language is bad, but I'm trying to just quickly get past this so we can get back in the conversation, so we can stay with this. I'm using that short, sharp shock. You're not going to cleanse your mind with Uncle Sam driving the car. It's not going to happen. As you can hear from the beep, he's just going to hit another bank. We just hit Grenada, 1983. We overthrew Grenada. He's not going to stop. The vaccines are not going to stop. They're going to tell you need more and more and more and more and more and more. They're going to tell you we need to invade more and more and more and more countries. 61 countries since World War II, 72 vaccines. The entire time while all those vaccines were happening and while all those countries were being overthrown, we went from Republican to Democrat to Democrat to Republican, from Republican to Democrat, from Democrat to Republican at least 20 times, right? It changed nothing. I'm sorry. It did change South Yemen. Fuck you, South Yemen. I forgot. It did change you. We changed some serious South Yemen. This is what we're doing. This is what DC never argues on. This is what Uncle Sam is going to do forever and ever and ever. Until you get tired of Egg McMuffins. And until you go up and grab the wheel and say, get the fuck out of this car, dude. You're not my uncle anymore. And it's not them doing it to us. It's not. It's us falling for the stories of how racist we are. That's what does it. It's us believing that Antifa is a terrorist organization. But James, it is a terrorist organization. The federal government is a terrorist organization. And if you don't believe me, go ask Suriname. 1982 through 84. I don't want a terrorist organization in charge of deciding what a terrorist organization is. Do you? Is that really the best thing to do? Is that really the best goal? Thank you so much, Joseph Paul. Elvis Bear supporting what he likes. Thanks for that super chat. If I missed more, sorry guys. There's like a lot of screens happening over here. Guys, we're getting better. This is not me bitching at you. We are getting better. And I really hope that this stream helps explain how easy it is to fall for this stuff. How us falling for this is not even a sign of how evil we are. It's a sign of how afraid we are of our own vigilance, of our own sovereignty. And until we get it right, Fiji is going to pay. In 1987, Fiji is going to pay for us not getting it right. Government feeds off your evacuation. They don't feed you. You tell them, I would like to eat this. That's how it works. All right? In the food court of life, the U.S. government is offering you a hot dog on the stick, and most of us have said, I will take it. I do not want a salad. I do not want to take home a coconut and figure out a way to open it myself. Germ theory. All of this is germ theory. Whoops. Did you know that the software wouldn't even let me keep all these in one place? Libya, 1980. Libya. They're the germ theory. Thanks, Cog. And I would have given you a wrench anyway, bro. Thanks a lot, buddy. Please give me a wrench, bro. Emoji LOL. Normally I wouldn't give someone a wrench for asking, but I actually know Cog, so he just totally earned a wrench. This is how it works. You know that. We've seen it. And this is not a minority. iTunes is not a minority. All right? iTunes is not a struggling minority. Right, Nicaragua? Nicaragua knows what it's like to be a minority. 1981 through 90. Do you realize most of the people that were overthrowing Nicaragua, Honduras, and all of Central America were like mercenaries? And when I say mercenaries, that just means retired rangers out of Fort Benning in Georgia. It's, we like to look at Israel, we don't like to, but we look at Israel and we understand what Mossad is. We know that there's actually an organization that is deeply traumatized for the sole purpose of helping their country commit, attack other people, attack their enemies, whatever, right? We have the same thing here. And the reason why the highest suicide rate is among veterans is because of this program. This program has been installed. It's all this is on purpose. Thank you, Simon33. Seeds for Growth. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, Panama, 1989. Sorry, Panama, you're too important. You're going to have the right guy in charge. Someone who's not racist. Someone who understands the white man a little bit better. It's so gross. It's so gross. But we're getting there. Just like with vaccines. It took 72 vaccines for enough of us to finally wake up and go, what the fuck's going on? Maybe it'll only take 11 more countries. Maybe if we only invade 11 more countries, all of this will work out. Could be that that's all it takes. Could be. So, do we call ourselves racist? Because if we do, we get to go invade Bulgaria in 1990. We're going to overthrow them too. You guys remember the Bulgaria scourge, right? Remember when Bulgaria was sweeping all across the world, creating their Bulgarianism? And that all of us were imprisoned by the Bulgarianism and how bad it was? Man, I remember that. God, I was little then. I grew up entrenched under the pain of Bulgarianism. And thank God America came and saved me. I mean, I'm racist as fuck, but thank God they came to save me. I don't know what I would do without these people. I don't know what I'd do. White lives matter. And Black Lives Matter is a White Lives Matter. It is. There's a video yesterday. Albania, fuck you. Fuck you. Overthrowing you. There's a video I showed yesterday. One of the initial organizers of Black Lives Matter does a great video where he's actually explaining to you that Black Lives Matter is not actually run by black people. The people that threw this brick out the window, the people that were handing these bricks out, were not black people. All the riots that you see right now are said to be riots based on Floyd. Based on the disaster of Floyd, right? Hurricane Floyd. But they're all run by white people. All the white people are the ones dropping the bricks off. The people in the cars are dropping bricks. Those are white too. And I use white in an ironic way here. I'm sitting by great Irish oak. Good for you, man. That sounds awesome. Iraq, 1991. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Simon, thank you. Iraq, 1991. Babies in incubators. Kuwait was innocent, and they tried to invade them. And we have to go in there and set all their oil fields on fire and ransack their Museum of Natural History. Because they're the evil germs, right? Because of how racist they are. And if we focus on this, we can fix ourselves. We can create a land of Zion by cleansing ourselves. And all we have to do to cleanse ourselves is invade Afghanistan. That's all we have to do. Thank you so much, Mountain Herbert, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Right, that's all we have to do is go invade Afghanistan. These guys are terrible over there. They have no idea how to do this freedom thing. No idea at all. I know you guys can smell what the Temple Rock is cooking. And the Temple Rock is cooking Zionism. And it's cooking cleansing. It's cooking this idea that there can be only one. It's cooking the quickening, like in the movie The Highlander. That's all we're cooking. And it's time to chop off another head. Somalia. We're not going to overthrow you, though. No, we like the government you got. We just want to go in and fuck with you for a while. Why would we say we have to overthrow these guys, but Somalia's fine? Can you consider that? You know, I don't want to paint Gaddafi as like a saint, because he's not. But the guy built the largest freshwater irrigation project in the world. The world. And we declared that he was a germ, that he was a virus in 1980. The van is not going to stop. Uncle Sam's not going to suddenly pull over and go, guys, I don't want to invade Yugoslavia. I think I've been doing wrong. I've had this change of heart, and it feels like maybe I've made some poor moral decisions. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This guy is not normal. The dude driving is not normal. And your biggest fear is not him. You are not afraid of him. You are afraid of your own vigilance. You're afraid of the calories it's going to take to make sure those keys do not get back in that ignition unless you're behind the wheel. That's what you're afraid of. And that's why we accept racism. Guys, listen to me. Listen to me. We are not mind-controlled. We are self-soothed. Self-soothed. And I'm here to tell you, everyone who's wearing a mask, everyone who's holding up the Black Lives Matter, those are people soothing, because they don't want to face the fact that Ecuador is about to get butt fucked by America in 2000. And it is easier for us to play with this racism doll. We can bat it between us, because we know that shit's not real. We know it. It's no different than when you go into a movie. When you go into a movie and you watch a horror movie, you're like, oh, I want to watch a horror movie because I want to be scared. The horror movie, the definition of a horror movie is titties running through the woods with a dude in a mask that has some sort of sharp, blunt instrument and is chasing him. All right, that's what we call terror, because it's sexy. Racism is Friday the 13th. All right? It's a lake house, a beautiful lake house, right? With a beautiful dock. With beautiful women everywhere that somehow keep tripping. For some reason, they always trip. And scantily clothes is something about the less clothes you wear, the more inclined you are to trip. That's the terror that we like. We don't like the real horror movies, right? A horror movie of a guy dying from cancer. That's a horror movie. Do you see the difference? We're allowed to replace terror with a batten image. Batten, with a paper tiger called terror. And we like to fear the paper tiger instead. Excuse me. Afghanistan, fuck you again. Venezuela, fuck you again. Right? We don't pay attention. We forgot that Uncle Sam's already stopped twice. Heavy Metal Bear, keep doing what you're doing, JT. Love the gravy. Thank you, buddy. I will. Jed, good presentation. Thank you, man. Good super chat. Thank you so much, Mountain Herman. I already said that, but thank you. Oh! Iraq, we're not done with you. We're going to overthrow you this time. It's easier to fear racism. We can even have a few riots about it. What's the big deal? My business has been closed down for months. What's the big deal? The economy's shot anyway. Might as well have a riot. It's almost as if they planned the COVID vaccine to start before the riots so everyone would have an excuse to wear a mask in public. Therefore, everyone would have an excuse to hide their identity. Therefore, everyone would have an excuse who has an inverted morality to define their morality by what they see outside of themselves. So if someone shows up in a car with a brick, your morals can be determined by something outside yourself, unless you're a badass like this lady. Unless you say no.
They're gonna get in trouble. You stupid. You a retarded bitch. All of y'all. Why the fuck would you give this to them?
Best apocalypse ever, guys. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Because we are fighting germ theory with the truth. Terrain theory. This lady is fighting terrain theory, is she not? Is she not? Is she not saying, fuck this, I'm going to fix the terrain? Damn right she is. It's the best apocalypse ever, guys. The cities are going to be intense for a while. They've been intense for a while anyway. You're living in a world that fashions itself after the zeitgeist. Which means Uncle Sam is in charge of your thoughts. Uncle Sam gets to tell you what to think because you're in the back. Because you don't want to face Haiti in 2004. Because we don't want to take those keys away. We don't want to entrust ourselves with it. And that's why you see slavery is not a problem. There's not a problem in the world where we have something called slavery that came up and it's a cancer, we have to fix it. No. Guys, when you learn how to walk, you're going to be a slave. You're going to be a slave to the couch. You're going to be a slave to your mom's pant leg. You're going to be a slave to your dad's hand. When you learn to ride a bike, you're going to be a slave to training wheels. Sovereignty is walking. It's riding a bike. It's learning how to run. It's learning how to take control of your vehicle. And I know I've said this before, forgive me, but it's not sovereignty we fear, it's vigilance. We're afraid we're going to evacuate. We're afraid we're going to get caught and fall for another lie like we did in Somalia in 2007. We know what our judgment's like. But instead of us fixing it, we're hiding from it. And the reason why is because of calories. The reason why is because we burn too many calories trying to fix it. And we'd rather not burn those calories. We seriously feel more comfortable with fucking Uncle Sam driving the van. In fact, we've started our own government inside the van. We've started our own government, and it runs on racism. Violations demo. Sorry, checking my notes here. Oh, in the meantime, Honduras, fuck you. We're going to get this right. I don't know how long it's going to take. I know what makes it faster, though. I know what makes it faster. Do you know what helps a sodomite stop being a sodomite? By telling him he's a sodomite. The reason why I attack Sodomy Month every year is because I want us to heal. And I know that if I call out what is actually there, what is actually happening, we will heal. I know that if we see what we're seeing, we will heal. So we don't get to say, no, this is a celebration of pride. No. We get to say, this is a push for eugenics through sodomy. And we don't get to say thank you for your service anymore. We say, why the fuck did we invade Libya in 2011 and overthrow their government? That's what we say. We don't say thank you for your service. If you say thank you for your service, it's going to encourage us to do it more. If you say, I am an evil racist white guy that doesn't understand my privilege, we're creating a pocket for more iTunes. for more of this. You're buying into something black people don't even buy into. James, how can you say that about the entire black race? Because there's no such thing. All there is people. All we are is a bunch of verbs. And our verbs are sitting in the back, watching iTunes drive our car around going, it's so bad, I'm going to have to paint black over all the windows so you can think about how bad you've been. Because meanwhile, fuck you, Syria. 2012. It's not going to stop. Only you're going to make it stop. Only I'm going to make it stop. And guys, no matter who you vote for, this is what you get. It doesn't matter who you vote for, this is what you get. China, Albania, East Germany, Iran, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Syria, Egypt, Indonesia, British Guiana, Iraq, North Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Ecuador, Congo, France, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Bolivia, I interrupt this reading of the list of countries we've invaded because we've just invaded another country called Ukraine. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Government is not evil. Your evacuation of your duty, responsibility is the evil. And these people that respond to war, the Zionists that come in, the cucks that come in, they are not leading you. They are feeding off the hole that you left in your field. And I know that some of you want to go, but this is hard. This is so stupid. You can't blame me for everything. All this is hard. The reason why it's hard is the reason why you're in Dojo Earth. This is supposed to be hard. Venezuela, fuck you, says America in 2020. Did you guys know that we overthrew Venezuela? I don't think you know. Most of us don't even know that a few months ago, Trump put a $15 million hit on the head, the physical head of the president of Venezuela. He said, in broad daylight, from the White House, I will give you $15 million if you bring me his head. Look it up. Look it up. Prove my lips all you want, but look that shit up. That shit's real. It is not going to stop. It is not. Your belief is a technology. Your belief is a system of worship. Everything you do with your time is a direct relation to what you believe. You cannot stop believing these motherfuckers because this is what they do. Right? Sorry, I'm out of countries now. It's not even all of them, by the way. I didn't have time to look to figure out what's happened between 15 and now. I only know Venezuela because I was tracking it for that last story I did about Hillary and Honduras. Honduras should be there again. I ran out of time this morning. We're running out of time. We're running out of countries. Please don't think that after all the banks have been hit that Uncle Sam's going to stop. Please don't. Please don't think that. He's not going to stop. Look at my screen. If you're on podcast, my screen has a tweet of Donald Trump. He tweeted this May 31st. The United States of America will be designating Antifa as a terrorist organization. Please do not think that this is going to stop, because instead of it being countries, these are going to be freaking cities. Cities. LA, Dallas, Minneapolis, Atlanta, cities. It is time to claim our sovereignty, my friends. That's what this summer's all about. I have friends in France, a good bit of friends actually, that they were the first people to gravitate to my work for whatever reason. And it's because they've been going through this longer than we have. The Antifa you see, this tweet from Trump, is Macron saying the yellow vests. The same yellow vest push. It's why all the countries are wearing masks, not one country. It's why every country. It's why all of our leaders are wearing masks. It's why all of our churches are wearing masks. It's why countries that we don't even fuck with are wearing masks. And we're all pretending. We're all pretending that Uncle Sam isn't a fucking psychopath. All of us are. There is much to unlearn. Make this the best apocalypse ever. And it doesn't start outside, it starts inside you. What I mean by that is that once you see clearly for what this is, I have deja vu so massively right now. Wow. Once you see how clearly this is, your ego, yes, your ego, is going to be pumping so strong that when you walk into a room, no one's going to pull this shit. Racism, vaccines, why it's important to vote for Biden. They're going to feel your vibration and understand this is a sovereign man I'm fucking talking to, or woman. This person is sovereign. They're not going to buy into this shit. They're not going to buy into this shit. This guy actually intimidates me a little bit to be around. It's almost like I'm out in the wild and I've just met a wild man. And he's calm and collected, but he just intimidates me. Why is that? It's because you feel his power. You feel his ego. Healthy, strong ego. Surging in his chest. And the last thing you would ever do is try and convince him to get in the back of a van and eat a Egg McMuffin and go knock off 61 banks since World War II while you're pretending to be the good guy. This is bullshit. They're trying to take over a color. You guys have a great day.